Start of the second quarter in Provo. BYU and Utah State tied at 7. Dave Fleming, Mike Bellotti, Allison Williams with you. And right away, first play of the quarter is a 3rd and 2 for the Cougars. And Hill's going to keep it. Why not? Taysom Hill to the 40, spinning around to the 45. And finally tackled there. So Hill pops up quickly after the first down. 12-yard gain.
3rd and 2 is probably going to be some opportunity for him to keep the ball on the edge. He had a chance, and he's selfish in that regard, and it's a good selfish because he knows he can get 2 yards just about any time.
He should be the guy who carries the ball in that spot. So Hill nearing 500 yards rushing on the season. This is game number 5 for the Cougars. And the handoff, Williams, who's got that great burst of speed, was seeing some daylight out in front of him across midfield. Still a nice gain even after the tackle of 8 yards.
He's scary because he's so explosive. If you give him a step, he can get into the secondary so quickly. He doesn't give those guys angles or ability to make the tackles.
The second down and short. Williams again with the carry, broke a tackle there to the 40 and inside the 40. To the 37-yard line. First down, Cougars, 9 more yards.
BYU consistently ahead of the chains now, ahead of the sticks. 3rd and 2, 2nd and 1. They are getting such great first down plays. 3rd downs become very easy.
Hill pressured. It's a screen play. A catch by Mitch Matthews, but he really didn't have anywhere to go. He got basically back to the line of scrimmage.
You know, and he's a big target. Usually you throw that type of a screen to a smaller, quicker athlete, but he's a big target, 6'6" on the field, but not the fastest or quickest in terms of acceleration.
Hill takes that shotgun snap. And this time he hits Matthews. Out of bounds, short of the first down. It is a catch for about 8 yards.
That's unusual to come up a yard or 2 short. Yeah, like I said, I would have liked to have seen that route run at the first down marker.
Well, the quick snap. Hill makes a man miss on 3rd and short. If he hadn't juked that defender, he would not have gotten the first down.
And there were 2 Utah State defenders standing there, and really he froze both of them. He is so quick and so explosive and so strong. They say he squats as much as most of the linemen.
And that was Zach Vigil, who's such a sure tackle, who could not bring Hill down. So first down, BYU. 4-man rush in the pocket over the top. He's got Matthews. Beautiful delivery. Touchdown.
Well, I guess it's just the opening drive of every quarter they're going to score.
Well, we saw Hill on the ground to start the game. Now through the air to start the second quarter. And BYU back in front with the extra point coming. That was delivered just perfectly from Taysom Hill. And pretty good example of how his passing game, his touch, has improved so much. That one just hooks through the left upright. The extra point is up and good.
And as we take a look at this route, you see the quarterback had a lot of time. And really a nice throw. This is the kind of touch we're talking about. Over the top of the defender, drop it in, let him walk through the end zone.
Celebrating its 10th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. Since 2005, Allstate has donated $3.4 million in scholarship funds. Now Taysom Hill to Mitch Matthews for the touchdown. BYU, 18th ranked team of the country, undefeated 4-0 against a tough Utah State team here at home. Back in front 14-7 with Andrew Mickelson getting ready to kick it off deep.
This is an interesting return formation. There's nobody outside the hash at the top of the screen. You can't see it. Now you can. What I'm talking about right here, I think they're going to move once BYU gets in the kick position, because otherwise the pop kick into this area right here is a very real opportunity.
Well, let's see if Utah State adjusts. Yeah, they sort of shuffle over.
Yeah, exactly. Because you want to leave that opening out there.
That's a former head coach worrying about the details.
Special teams right there.
Kennedy Williams set up as the returner. Another low line drive kick and angled to the end zone, but it's going to be taken back by Sharp to the 15 with a flag thrown, staying in bounds and pushed out across the 20 at the 21. But we'll see who the penalty is against. You would guess Utah State. We'll see.
Way away from the
During
ball.
the return, holding number 33 of the receiving team. The penalty will be 10 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Well, part of a great day tomorrow. College football on Saturday and a huge game of the Big Ten. Amir Abdullah and the Cornhuskers going on the road to take on number 10 Michigan State Saturday 8 Eastern on ABC. Saturday Night Football presented by Wells Fargo. That may be the game of the year in the Big Ten Conference.
No question. I think it's the Big Ten's hope, because now that Oregon has lost, that Michigan State loss doesn't look as good. They may hope Nebraska has to go on and win the whole thing.
Utah State down by a touchdown with the ball back. Their quarterback Darryl Garrettson in a pistol type formation, and he faked the give, kept it himself with a flag thrown. A short gain. We'll see if that's against the Aggies. It looks like it is.
Holding number 83 of the offense. Half the distance to the goal remains. First down.
That's the tight end Wyatt Houston. For a little more on that Michigan State-Nebraska game, let's go down to Allison Williams.
Dave, weather expected to be a big issue in that game in East Lansing. Heather Cox telling me today he'll be working the sidelines for that matchup. She said a lot of rain, lightning expected. The field is actually going to be covered until the teams arrive tomorrow. And the big thing everybody's talking about, something has to give with that Nebraska run game against Michigan State's defense. But Mark D'Antonio, the head coach for the Spartans, said he's got all his bullets. It's as healthy as they've been all year.
And that could be bad news for Nebraska. Hill with the carry as Utah State in poor field position here. Mike, how about a key matchup in that one we're talking about?
The matchup in that game that I want to see is the ever-ready bunny there, alias AA, Amir Abdullah, against the huge Marcus Rush and Shalik Calhoun, the defensive ends from Michigan State. They pressure the pass, the run. They've got to make sure that they keep the edge of that defense.
Batteries.
They might want to unplug that battery.
He does have a lot of energy, Abdullah. Tough spot here for the Aggies. Second and long. Inside their own 10. They swing it out to Hill, who gets a block. Hit across the 15. Still short of the first down, but some breathing room. And third down and a little bit more manageable coming up.
Absolutely. And that's what you hope for. If it's second and long, you're trying to get to a manageable third down. And 3rd and 4 is very, very manageable, because that's still a run pass down. You have to defend all aspects of the game and all aspects of the field.
So a 9-yard play makes it 3rd and 5. And it's loud here in Provo. Garrettson looking middle, tipped up, and that one was almost caught on the deflection. Maybe it was. Lying on the ground, JoJo Natson somehow came up with the ball. It was tipped up in the air. Not only did he catch it, it's a Utah State first down.
Yeah, but that's a very, very dangerous throw. You can see the catch. He really does pick it right off the edge of the ground and actually bounces it to himself. But that ball could have been intercepted. You can see it comes right off of Kafusi, dropping into coverage there. Here's another look at it. Oh my gosh, great job of catching it in his hands and then corralling it on the ground.
Tipped up a first time, tipped up a second time, and that's just tremendous instincts from JoJo Natson. And I think they are going to want to look at this to make sure that was a clean catch.
The ruling on the previous play of a catch is under further review. There is no timeout charged to Utah State.
So the replay official is going to take a look. We'll take a break. The Cougars lead 14-7. Second quarter in Provo, BYU, 18th ranked team of the country with a 14-7 lead over Utah State. Here's the play that was just reviewed. And Mike, we took a good look at it. The replay officials did as well. The ball did not touch the ground.
Very fortuitous bounce of the ball for Utah State. I'll tell you what, that ball could have gone anywhere, but great individual effort too to catch it.
So JoJo Natson with the spectacular play off the deflection, and the call was upheld. The official language call stands, so they did not confirm it, but the play counts. It's 1st and 10. And the handoff, Nick Vigil back in there at running back, and I guess he's got a little shiftiness as well. Vigil, the linebacker, playing tailback here tonight, and that didn't look like a linebacker.
Okay, so they came into the game with the receiver being their leading rusher. Now the leading rusher in this game is a linebacker for him. So do you think they have problems in the running game? But he is really good. He has some natural ability, some speed, some strength. He's also got some vision and some trust in his instincts.
Well, we did not expect this. I'm sure older brother, who's sitting with his fellow linebackers, is pleased with what he's seeing from young Nick Vigil. 11-yard gain, 1st and 10 at a play fake. Garrettson looking toward that left sideline, and a great delivery, caught and finally pushed out of bounds. Devontae Robinson, who had the touchdown catch, and my goodness, at the end there, a collision with a part of our officiating crew.
That was one of the most violent hits on the field tonight.
Man, 36-yard pass play, but in the end, a very scary moment. And the BYU training staff right over there to have a look.
Utah State picking on Rob Daniel a little bit, who's supposed to be the best cover guy for BYU. They've had some issues in the secondary with locating the football and knowing where it is, and very difficult. Officials have to have eyes in the back of their head as they're administrating the game.
So a chance to take another look. And at the very end, oh man, the right leg. I guess that's the field judge, Joe Bluebaugh, and that was nasty looking. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think Joe's going to be able to keep going in this game. I mean, maybe if you're a 19-year-old athlete, you can survive a collision like that, but that looked like a pretty severe leg injury. And I think it's clear they're treating it as such. So while they attend to Joe, we'll step aside. 14-7 BYU. Well, the good news is the field judge tonight, Joe Bluebaugh, walked off the field limping clearly, and whether he could come back into this game, I don't know. That would be in real doubt. But Joe, not as severe as maybe it looked on a first glance, so that's good news. But the field judge injured. Side, 1st and 10, and a little wildcat. Not a good snap though. Natson, he did not go down. Now cutting it back, and Garrettson trying to put a block on. Natson got hit there inside the 25 toward the 20. So he ran a long way to get 6 yards, and Natson a little shaken up.
You ran 40 or 50 yards to pick up 5 or 6, but still a great effort, a great run. You can see how explosive he is, and also how physically tough he is.
We've had a few problems Utah State has with the snap. That was not a good snap. That interrupted the rhythm of that play. It's Garrettson back in at quarterback, and Vigil, the linebacker, to his left side, and a flag thrown.
You know, I will tell you, any of those snaps, as long as they're anywhere between the
false
knees.
Start. 75 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
The knees and the top of the head of the quarterback are all on the quarterback. They've got to watch it. If you had to play the game with your hand between your legs and snap the ball and have a 300-pound guy sitting on your nose, anywhere snap is good. The quarterback's got to handle those.
But those snaps down by the ankles, almost skipping along the ground.
Yeah, but they still got to get them. You got to be an athlete back there, quarterback. You got to bend your knees and watch the ball.
Kennedy Williams now instead of Vigil, the tailback after the penalty. Williams nowhere to go. Remington Peck with the tackle, among others. Gain of a yard to set up 3rd down.
That was probably an incorrect read right there by Daryl Gerritsen. They had two coming off the edge, one to cancel the dive, one to cancel him. He should have thrown the ball outside to get it to the wide receiver, the third option in that package.
Technically in field goal range, realistically, I don't know. The way their field goal game has gone this year.
I don't think so either. I think they're going to try and get it all here, or certainly it could be 4-down territory.
3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Gerritsen in the pocket. He throws, and the pass is caught short, and the quick tackle short of the first down. Natson had it, but could not get there. Just a couple yards. Call it 4 to set up 4th down, and we'll see what Utah State decides to do. They are sending the field goal team out there, and it looks to me like it's Jake Thompson, not the short distance kicker, the longer distance kicker. Thompson, who has not connected on one all year. He's 0 for 3. This one will be spotted down around the 31, so call it a 41-yard try.
Let's see if they have some type of a fake on. They have not been the most astute kicking team. That's going to help them.
Wow.
That could be a 1st down right there.
Well, that was Jordan Johnson, and that is against BYU. It was 4th and 4.
Offside, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. Meeks the 1st down.
Where were you going, Jordan Johnson? What a huge penalty and mistake that is.
Or what were you looking at? He might have seen somebody flinch, but you're right. That's another self-inflicted. That's a key one, because now if this drive results in something other than a field goal, it's going to be all on BYU's mistake.
Well, BYU, they have piled up the penalties this year, and that one hurts.
And that's one that coach has talked about. He doesn't mind the penalties during the course of the play from snap to whistle. The ones before the snap or after the whistle are frustrating for everybody.
Well, one of the big playmakers, JoJo Natson, on the bench on the sideline, not in the game. Rashad Hall, the tailback, and he gets it straight ahead inside the 15 down to the 14. That's 4 yards on 1st down.
They're having success right now, surprisingly, running right at this BYU defense.
And look who's back in. So he had his helmet off 30 seconds ago.
He was just taking a breather. I don't think you can keep him out of the game very long.
Sit down on the bench without your helmet. Okay, 1 play later, right back in. Hall once again the tailback. Gerritsen complete. A quick tackle. Out on the open field, Ronald Butler with the catch, and we'll see where they spot the ball. That was close with forward progress.
Craig Bills is a great tackler in the secondary. He is really quick, sure tackler, one of the best they have in the open field.
And you can tell they spotted him short, and I think that was a good spot.
I think it's a good spot. I think that's a very, very good spot.
So now it's 3rd and a yard, and in a pistol formation, the linebacker Vigil is behind the quarterback, and look at the wind sprint from the head coach Bronco Mendenhall, who ran down the sideline to call.
This is the first
BYU
timeout of the first half called by BYU.
When we come back to Provo.
ESPN College Football Primetime is brought to you by Cooper Tires. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go. And Zaxby's, the official chicken of sports fans.
Number 9, Jim McMahon, with his old head coach Lavelle Edwards. Last night, the ceremony to induct Jim into the BYU Hall of Fame. There he is on the sideline at halftime with the athletic director Tom Olmo. They will retire his number here inside the stadium.
I heard he borrowed that coat from Lavelle. I'm not sure about that.
That was a heck of a coat. 3rd and 1. Nick Vigil, the tailback. Gerritsen under center out of the BYU timeout. And they will give it to the big kid. Vigil powering his way forward, easily gets the 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal from the 5.
I think that timeout worked as well for Utah State because they were in the pistol 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. I think they thought about, let's take it up closer, the threat of the quarterback sneak, and now give it to Vigil off the edge.
Well, I'm with you. And Nick Vigil, he's doing a Miles Jack impersonation tonight. The star linebacker moving over to tailback. Sharp comes in motion. They give it to Vigil. Made one tackler miss, but not another. Tripped up right around the line of scrimmage. Craig Bills gets in there to help make the play.
I would think rather than run it now, they may put Garrettson on the edge with a little play action or some type of a movement to give him some opportunity to let a route develop into the back corner of the end zone.
5 yards a rush for Vigil so far in this game. They need 5 to get to the end zone. This has been a 12-play drive. They've gone all the way down the field. The fake reverse, and Garrettson sprinting out, goes and dives in. Touchdown, Utah State. You called it.
Well, at that edge of the field, you have the far right to work to. The quarterback can move. They're in a running formation, and BYU had everybody at the line of scrimmage, so it was a nice time to call play action.
An extra point away from tying this game.
You see it here from ground level. A nice play fake, sort of a token play fake, but on the move, and then they covered everybody but allowed him to run in. There was nobody for the quarterback.
13 plays, 88 yards for the Aggies. Nick Diaz ready for the extra point. And the kick is up and good. A tie game with 4:40 to go until halftime. And we mentioned how during halftime they are going to have the official on-field ceremony to retire the number of the great Jim McMahon, who is standing by with Allison Williams.
Thank you guys very much, Jim. First of all, congratulations. What will it mean to you to be able to look up there at the half and see your number 9 hanging up in the rafters here?
Well, it's going to be exciting. You know, it's taken me 37 years to graduate from here, so I was glad I was able to get that done for my folks and see a bunch of old teammates that came back this weekend. It's been great.
Because you did graduate, you were eligible to be inducted into the Hall of Fame and have your number retired. Why was it important for you to come back and get your degree?
I promised my dad I'd do it. You know, him and my mom. I wanted to make sure that they were, were happy with my college degree. So I got it done for them and for Lavelle Edwards. I told them I'd get it done, and I was glad to do it.
BYU has seen several great quarterbacks throughout the years. One of them playing tonight in Taysom Hill. What are your impressions of his ability?
He's a heck of an athlete. You know, he's a big, strong kid. He can run. He can throw the football. I'd like to see him throw it a little bit more tonight. You know, I'm not used to seeing all this running from BYU quarterbacks. So I think he's got a great chance of doing great things here.
Jim, it was a nice ceremony last night for you, but I think what really stood out was your attire, the jacket you were rocking. How would you describe your look last night? What were you going for there?
Well, I had my regular tux jacket and shirt, but that's not me. You know, I've always been a little colorful, and I wanted to go out that way.
It was certainly memorable. You pulled it off. Jim, thanks so much for the time.
Right, thank you.
Guys.
Yeah, I think that was a little more Jim than the regular tux jacket.
I wonder if I can borrow that for some of the other functions I go to. That is a statement jacket, I would call it.
You think he's ready for the ceremony at halftime? And it has been. Look, he said it, 37 years. They don't retire a player's number unless that player gets a degree. And so it took Jim a while, but he got that college degree. And so honoring one of the all-time greats in BYU history. There's a fumbled exchange. And Utah State, they think they have it. Jamal Williams tried to rip the ball away himself. So they'll dig through the pile and take a look. The initial indication, yeah, it's Aggies football. Do you think Utah State is fired up for this game?
Let me say this, 10 plays has been the magic number for Utah State. If they put 10 plays in the drive, they're going to score. Here you can see just a turnaround, just some confusion on whether or not he's going to get the ball or putting it in there all the way. Let's take a look from this angle. Yeah, I really am not sure that the tailback, Jamal Williams, knew he was going to get the ball. I think that might have been a read, and he didn't feel it enough.
So Hill and Williams are going to talk about that. But a turnover in this part of the field on the first play after the touchback. The Aggies have a great opportunity to take the lead with 4:34 to go until halftime. A little pump fake. Garrettson going to the end zone. He's got his man caught and touchdown. Second one of the night for Devontae Robinson. 22 yards. Utah State leads.
Wow, that looked easy. That was a nice stop-start route. And the reality is, we want to check and make sure that he did catch this, have control in the end zone, got the foot down with control of the ball. That looks right there. So yeah, it's a touchdown. Nice double move The BYU defender bit really hard. Then nice touch pass from Garrettson just over the top, led him perfectly.
One play after the turnover. And Daryl Garrettson, the backup. Chucky Keaton, the star for Utah State, is out indefinitely. Garrettson, who does have a good bit of playing experience, but he's playing like a star in this first half. Extra point is up and good. So all those long drives for the Aggies. This one, after the turnover, one play, 22 yards, and pay dirt.
That's the best kind of drive you can have, a one-play drive right there.
Well, Taysom Hill anxious to get back on the field. We get a chance to remind you on Monday Night Football, Russell Wilson and the Seahawks on the road against Kirk Cousins and Washington. It's the Seahawks at 8:15 in Washington on ESPN. And watch ESPN. That Wilson Cousins matchup, does that sound familiar?
37-31 Hail Mary win at the end of the game.
Go back to 2011, one of the classic games of that year or recent college football history. And it was Cousins who beat Wilson as an underdog. 37-31 the final on a truly memorable play.
I think Russell Wilson might even the score with the team around him now.
I believe that's what the experts expect come Monday night. But the Seahawks on the road, maybe a little different team than playing in their home.
It is really tough playing up in Seattle, right? The noise there and the 12th man that they have. The fans have done a great job.
21-14 Utah State taking advantage of that turnover, and now they have to kick it back to BYU. Jake Thompson's done a good job with the kickoffs for the Aggies. That last touchdown drive, one play, 7 seconds off the clock, and that'll be another touchback. Well, Dave Fleming and Mike Bellotti here in Provo. And Mike, this is a shocker. Utah State comes into this game 3 touchdown underdogs against undefeated BYU playing at home. Here we are a few minutes before halftime. They lead in this game.
Sometimes it's more difficult to be the favorite at home. You're the underdog. You come in. Utah State is a very well-coached team, as both teams have talked about how well they think the coaches prepare them.
And you can't underestimate the power of what this means to the Utah State kids. They are underdogs not just in terms of the point spread, but in this rivalry inside this state, this football crazy state. So many of these kids maybe grew up dreaming of coming to BYU, weren't recruited by the Cougars. I mean, there's a little chip on the shoulder aspect to this game.
No question. And they're missing Chucky Keaton, Swindoll, a receiver. Fackrell, one of their best defensive players. So this is a team that other guys are stepping up, which you like to see as a coach.
Taysom Hill to Matthews, just enough, 6 yards for the first downs. BYU, with their quick tempo offense, certainly plenty of time to go down the field.
No question. There's a lot of game left right now.
Hill just under 100 yards through the air. Williams with that burst, first down and more. Almost to midfield, finally tackled at the 47-yard line. Jamal Williams, who is so ball secure. That's the first fumble he has ever lost in 450 career carries. I'm not sure you could pin it all on Williams.
I would say that was more of an exchange issue, or maybe, as we said, he may not have known he was going to get the ball. Maybe they heard Jim McMahon too. He said he'd like to see him throw the ball more. They came out throwing. Now they're right back to the ground game there.
Williams inside Utah State territory with that extra effort down to the 49. So 3, almost 4 yards.
And where we are right now, 3:13, this is a perfect drive for BYU. They'd like to take 2 or 3 minutes off the clock, score a touchdown, tie this game up, and not give Utah State any time to respond.
Hill, and maybe reacting to that pressure show of the Utah State defense, comes up to the line, makes a change. Number 4 will fake the handoff, sort of sprinting right, using the stiff arm, but not to great effect. He got a couple yards and tackled very hard by the safety Brian Sweet.
Good speed by Sweet, because
Taysom
Hill, he may have came down on his knee or his ankle. It looks like he's hobbling a little bit.
Yeah, you could tell that was a hard tackle, and he is really hurting. Was not putting any weight on his left leg. Oh, my goodness.
Let's take a look right here. Is a great angle to watch it. Oh, the left ankle. Yeah, he got trapped underneath the body of Sweet, the safety.
Well, now whistles and a timeout. Utah State. Christian Stewart, the backup quarterback, is in. But obviously this is an enormous story for BYU, for Taysom Hill, for the Heisman Trophy, for the college football landscape, and Hill is in a lot of pain.
And is this reminiscent of 2 years ago when he went down in this game?
Hurt himself against Utah State. It ended his year 2 seasons ago. There's mom and dad. And on the right side there, that is Taysom's wife. They got married in the college football offseason. And you can understand some concern from his family. Take another look at that play. The safety sweep trying to drag Hill down. Yeah, that left ankle, left knee maybe.
Yeah, I think it's left ankle, and it looks like it could be serious. You know, he's a stud. He's a tough young guy, but it's just hard to protect yourself all the way around. He's holding that ankle up right there.
Yeah, he knew right away. So the backup in, Stewart gives the ball to Williams straight ahead and short of a first down. It'll be 4th down coming up at about a yard. We'll see if the Cougars decide to go for it.
And it's interesting to see how a team will respond when your acknowledged leader goes down or goes out of the game.
Wow, that does not look good. So they are going for it on 4th and 1 with Williams at tailback. And that was movement. On 4th and a yard, that changes the whole deal if that's against BYU.
It does. In fact, it looks like they're going to bring the punt team on. Difficult. Obviously, when you bring a new quarterback in, sometimes the cadence is slightly different.
False start. 78 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Well, they've had some critical penalties. That's another one. They had one that extended the drive that tied the game for Utah State when the Aggies had the ball. This one takes away their chance to go for it on 4th down. Now, they will punt the ball away unless there's some sort of fake coming up. And Taysom Hill is in a lot of pain. And you just hate to see that. One of the great players in the country pressured on the punt. But Ariano gets it off. Fair catch signal, and Natson backpedaling makes it just across the 10-yard line. They'll spot him out at the 13.
37 yards.
The teammates are concerned, and those hands on the head, hands on the face. There's not been a lot of relief in terms of the pain for Hill. And finally, he's trying to sit up a little bit.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised for them to put some type of an air cast on it and ice and yeah.
Well, we can't see it, but
they have immobilized the left leg.
Yeah, apparently that's what they've done. They put something like a cast or a boot of some sort. Well, Utah State with the lead and with the ball with 1:40 to go and 2 timeouts remaining. Handing it off. And a little cutback run for number 21, Lawan Hunt.
Yeah, it's interesting how they'll play this. They have the time. I'm not sure they like the field position in terms of going to a true 2-minute mode. They're always in no huddle, but they're taking a lot more time, and it looks as if they're comfortable at this point to sit with the lead.
They're getting that card out. Well, who knows? They throw the ball and get the first down. That's another catch for Hunter Sharp. So the first down, they'll stop the clock just to spot the ball. And now wind it again.
Yeah, they're going more warp speed now. They're going faster, so I think they like. Maybe they got across the 25, which is the magic marker for them.
Garrettson with time. He's going to go deep now. He's got his man Sharp caught in stride. 20, 10, touchdown.
I'm not sure what I'm more amazed by. The lack of a pass rush for BYU or the poor coverage in the secondary.
Just an awful couple minutes for the Cougars. Taysom Hill on the cart going back to the locker room. And Utah State with the gigantic play, 72 yards.
When your leader goes down, you either buck up or you go into shell shock. Right now, BYU looks shell shocked.
Hunter Sharp. So now the extra point, 3 plays, 87 yards, less than a minute, still 55 seconds to go until halftime. And another extra point up and good for Utah State. They lead by 2 touchdowns, and that is the worst news of all for BYU. You just hate to see that. And he's still hurting big time.
I think it's a combination of disappointment, and it's as much the anguish of being hurt and not being able to help his team besides the physical pain.
Yeah. So they are stunned here in Provo, and why wouldn't they be? 21 unanswered points for Utah State, and the star quarterback, the Heisman Trophy contender, is hurt. This is another look at that long touchdown pass.
Just runs right by the corner. The corner's eyes are in the backfield. Nothing should have caused that to allow him to let the receiver run by. Hunter Sharp, one of the guys at flying 40 speed, they love his speed and ability to track the ball down the field. Darryl Garrettson, I think, crazy with joy, I guess.
Playing out of his mind and acting like it. He has had a tremendous first half. Remember, the star quarterback for the Aggies is not playing tonight, Chucky Keaton. And Darryl Garrettson, as a true freshman, he was 6-1 as a starter last year. He has started a game this season, so it's not like he doesn't have any experience, but still, against a tough BYU defense, a spectacular first half performance. And maybe a chance for a return. Adam Hine, left side to the 15 and stumbles ahead to the 20. So 49 seconds to go until halftime. Coming up in the halftime report, those great games in the SEC West. We'll talk about those. Phil Steele's predictions and some highlights from Jim McMahon's Hall of Fame induction ceremony. All that coming up at halftime. Well, now we'll see if BYU's willing to be aggressive with 2 timeouts. And their backup quarterback in. That was almost a missed exchange. Stewart to the 35 goes into a slide. There is a flag down on the field. Now, not on the hit. Behind the play is the penalty flag.
It's coming back. The officials bringing it back.
Holding number 57 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Watch it right here as this happens. You take a look, and unfortunately, right there, actually horse collars somewhat the guy down, which right in the view of the official.
Yeah, that was an easy call. So 1st and 20 and backed up just outside their own 10. Hand off Williams, nowhere to go. Nick Vigil, who's been a star carrying the ball on offense, back at his normal linebacker spot. Another part of this surprise first half performance for Utah State.
Utah State very resourceful as a coaching staff. Obviously, when you have, as I talked about, coming into this game, a receiver was their leading rusher. Tonight, a linebacker is their leading rusher. Wow, that's using all your resources.
So BYU is just going to try to regroup in the locker room. And Bronco Mendenhall, a lot to be unhappy about. Everybody here just shocked with the score, with their star carted off the field. Utah State up 2 touchdowns. Let's go down to Allison Williams.
Coach Mendenhall, such a difficult scene to see Taysom Hill carted off. We see the left leg immobilized. What more can you tell us at this time?
Not sure at this point. They'll go do x-rays at halftime.
How do you even begin to quantify the significance of his loss?
We have the rest of the team that has to respond and overcome through our executions other than just one great player.
What do you tell them when it comes to dealing with the emotions of seeing Hill injured?
Oh, just that. They each need to do their best to compensate.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I think under the circumstances, some wise words from Bronco Mendenhall. It is halftime. BYU down 2 touchdowns, 28-14.